Hello, this is Jessica Fox from Florida Virtual Bookkeeper, and today I want to continue talking about pricing. Today's focus is going to be about how to create bookkeeping packages. This is a very common question that I get because you may watch a webinar, read a blog, or see a post on Facebook saying that you shouldn't be pricing hourly, you should be creating packages and billing a flat rate for that. But then what do you do with those packages? How do you create them? What do you put into them? So that's what we're going to be discussing today. So there are several things that you need to consider. One is, how many packages are you going to offer? My recommendation is that you offer 3 packages. That seems to be the magic number of the right amount of choices. You don't want to give just 2 packages, and you don't want to give too many choices. That will overwhelm your prospect. For example, if you go to Starbucks, they have 3 sizes to choose from. You got the tall, the grande, and the venti. Yes, I know some will tell me that there are other sizes that you can get, but as you see, they are not listed on the price menu. There's a reason for that. That's an advanced topic for another video. So to start, I recommend that you focus on 3 packages. You also need to consider what you're going to name those packages. And there's no real fast rule about what it should be. You can make it very simple and descriptive, like basic, standard, premium, or bronze, silver, and gold. Some people that have niche industry specializations may pick some cute names to describe the packages that are associated with that. For example, if you specialize in gardeners, you may have something like seedling, growing, or oak, or whatever, anything like that. Then you also have to consider what items you are going to include in your packages, and we will be focusing on that today in this video. And then also, last but not least, you need to come up with what the prices for the packages will be, and that will be a topic for another video. So how do you structure your packages? So you first want to determine what's going to be in them, and usually the way that it works is your smallest package will be the basics that you need for compliance. This is just the bare minimum things, and then your client will be doing more of the work. They may be doing their own data entry, or they're responsible for organizing their own receipts. And then you build from there. So your middle package will include everything that's in your basic plus more. And then your premium package will have things that are beyond just basic bookkeeping. You will include the standard bookkeeping, but then it will have the bells and whistles. So if you offer advisory services, CFO services, special reporting dashboards, forecasts, things like that, that is where that would be included. So in order to create the framework for your packages, I recommend that you use one of the free apps like Trello or Asana. If you're more paper-based and you like paper, you can even use Post-it notes, but you need to clear a lot of space to be able to do this, because you're going to want to list every single service that you offer, everything that you can do. You need to be detailed, break it down, not just say monthly bookkeeping. You want to break it down to data entry, account reconciliation, financial reports, and then you will move those into each of the packages where you think they will be. So for example, something like bank reconciliation, which is very basic and default and needed for compliance, which will be in all of your packages, you will put in your smallest basic package. But something like, say, cash flow forecasting, which goes above and beyond standard basic bookkeeping, that you may want to put either in your middle or your premium package, depending on what you prefer. And then you will evaluate and tweak as you go. One thing that I want to mention is, if you decide to take Mark Wickersham's course on how to price bookkeeping or enroll in one of his value pricing academies, you will get a template in Trello where you can create your packages. It's already set up for you, so you do not have to create it from scratch. So that's something to consider if you feel like you're going to be jumping right into value pricing. So these are just some sample packages. I kept it very brief. I didn't want to cram too much stuff in your desk, but it gives you a visual. And this is from the teachings of Mark Wickersham, that you always want to present your packages from largest to smaller. The reason for this is price psychology. You are setting an anchor in your prospect's mind. That first price that they see will become the anchor that they will compare everything that comes after that. So by giving the largest price first, anything will be a steal, a really good deal, because it's cheaper. You also, one of the things that he recommends is using this checkmark system, doing the ticks to show what is included in each package, because it gives a very simple visual for your prospect of what's included. And as human beings, by nature, we tend to have fear of missing out. So unless somebody is really trying to be cheap or just simply cannot afford it, it's rare that somebody will go for your basic package. Most people will usually go to either the middle and some to the premium. So one of the things that you want to keep in mind is once you create your framework, these packages are not the exact same for each client. You want to customize them for each one of your prospects. So how do you do this? You want to be clear on the scope for each client. And for this, you need to have a conversation with them before you present your packages. You want to, during that conversation, ask questions, learn about their pain points. What is it that they are stressing about, keeping them up at night? What is it that is a bottleneck? What is it that they're looking to get from your services? But that only gives you part of the picture. You also want to do a file review so that you can determine the rest of the scope, what they didn't know or forgot to tell you. And that way you can come with accurate packages that address their specific needs. No two businesses are alike. So you want to be specific. This will prevent you from getting into scope creep, because you want to be very detailed about what is included in each package. So if after they become a client, they ask for something that is not specifically listed, you can charge extra for it. That way the client won't feel like everything is included in this plan. And when you're presenting it to your prospects, you want to use their keywords, the same words that they told you. While your scope of service is all technical and specific, you will do data entry, cost allocation, balance sheet creation, or comparisons, or whatever else it may be. You do want to make sure that when you're explaining it to the client, you're using the same language that they were using to explain the pain. So if they were talking about not having time, you will mention how these packages will save them time. If they were complaining about how they have no idea how their business is doing, you mention how these packages will give them the reports to let them know how profitable their business is. You do not want to list services that the client has no need for. So if they're a sole proprietor, do not list payroll. If you add things that do not apply to that client, you may be opening yourself up for them trying to negotiate your price and get a discount because they feel like they're paying for something that they're not getting. So you always want to make sure that it's customized. And then you do want to include in your premium packages any services that the client didn't mention that they wanted, but that you feel that could benefit them. Sometimes they don't really know what you can do, what's possible. They don't know what they need. But for example, if you do your file review and you notice that your prospect has been racking up a lot of NSF charges from the bank from going overdrawn, maybe you want to add in the premium package some cost control services where you monitor their spending and you help them manage their cash flow so that they can save on those bank fees. So those are just some basic guidelines to get you started in creating your packages so that you can have that foundation and then be able to tweak for every prospect that you speak with. In future videos, we will go over how to actually come up with the price for each of these packages. In the meantime, please email me if you have any questions, what you want to know about pricing. That will help me determine what to cover in future videos. Jessica at floridavirtualbookkeeper.com. Thank you and have a good one.